Hello, Rock Commanders. This is Björn from the Night Flight Orchestra, and we're here at the festival Time to Rock. Check it out.
I have mainly a few fun questions to ask you,
All right.
but I would love to get to know some more specifics, like how you got the idea for this Night
Right.
Flight Orchestra, right?
Yeah, no, I mean it all started on tour in North America, somewhere, and we were touring there for 5 weeks, and with my other band Soilwork, and we had to get a session guitarist on that tour, and that was David Anderson, and we didn't know each other since before, and we really bonded on that tour over music and everything. We ended up sitting in the back lounge every day, doing some drinking and listening to, classic rock and mostly like 70s stuff and 80s stuff, and really bonded over that and the aesthetics of 70s and 80s as well. And when that tour was over, we just felt like this has been such a great journey. There's nothing better to be in motion and listening to music and have a few drinks, looking out the window. There's something about touring in North America as well, looking at like on the road. It's different somehow. And we swore that we need to start a band that captures the late 70s and early 80s and make like a real like a road trip soundtrack. We felt like something was missing out there in rock. It was mostly like early 70s, like Black Sabbath, Led Zeppelin-esque, which is great, but we wanted to capture sort of like a different era, and that later became the Night Flight Orchestra. It started as a drunken idea that actually became reality. It's one of which doesn't happen very often, but yeah, no, and I think we really succeeded in capturing that kind of vibe of providing a soundtrack for people in motion. It really, it gets you somewhere. There's a lot of escapism running through our sound and songs as well. So I think it really worked out. Sadly, David Anderson is no longer with us, but this journey continues.
Yeah, you've been active for over a decade, right, with this specific band?
Yeah, I mean the idea started late 2000s, and we got together for the first time in 2010, and then released our first album in 2012. So it's been a while.
How do you still keep going with the same band and the same, or like not the same ideas, but how do you still get inspiration for it and keep going?
Yeah, I mean, because we have so much fun, and everybody says that, of course, but it's like there's a great chemistry, and we always feel like we have something new to say with each and every album. I think we keep evolving. I think that there's really no boundaries with, it's kind of hard to put a label on exactly what we're doing musically, but we're really all over the place. But somehow we managed to find like a mutual vision and then just tie the whole thing together, and I think that's always exciting, that you're able to express, so many things, and that it's very sort of boundless, and it's like an open field. You can do whatever you want, and then the challenge is to tie it all together in the end. And I think we succeed every time, and each and every album becomes really, really special, and I think we're really brave in what we're writing, and we're definitely exploring a lot of things that you normally wouldn't do maybe in a metal band. I come from the metal world, and I'm a metalhead, but I'm also a music fan in general. So I think there's a lot to explore, and I also feel that I evolve a lot as a singer and as a musician having this band, and I also take that with me to Soilwork as well.
Do you have any inspiration for a song that was, it just hit you and it was kind of in a weird situation, but oddly enough, it still worked out?
Weird, yeah, I don't know. I mean, for example, on the new album, there's a song called Paloma, and that kind of happened because of me and my wife. We have a friend in Italy. She's a stewardess, and she started dating a pilot, and the pilot turned out to be not so nice, but she kept going back to him, and we got really frustrated. And then I feel like, wait, I'm in the Night Flight Orchestra. I can write a song about this, So that definitely sparked something. And then we played a Spanish festival in Alicante. I think it was 3 years ago. And on the flight home, I see a stewardess named Paloma, and I was like, that's the name of the song. So I started writing the song in the air, the lyrics. And then when I came home, I wrote the melody and the chords and everything. And so it fell into place quite quickly. But it was yeah, I think it's a great story, and I was happy to know later on that she left this guy. So it's yeah, we'd like to think that we had a little bit something to do with it. I don't know, but maybe it inspired, because she really loved the song too. So yeah,
I'm sure you.
yeah,
Oh.
that was cool.
And also kind of fitting to write this song in the air.
Yeah, no, exactly, and it's true. I know it sounds like, oh, I was writing the whole album in the air, but it's like, no, it really happened in the air. I saw that, the name and everything, and it sparked so many things. And I had a few drinks in me on the flight home, and I was like, oh, I got really inspired. So it turned out really cool, I think. And we will play it tonight. So yeah.
Oh, I'm looking forward.
Yeah.
So a few fun question. What's the weirdest thing you've been asked to sign?
I think there's been like some kind of weird taxidermy thing that I had to sign. I can't remember, but it rings a bell. Like a stuffed taxidermy. Yeah, you know what I mean. Like I don't know. It was like a fox or a bird, or I can't remember. It was. I had to sign it. There's been some weird stuff through the years.
I can imagine.
Socks, worn socks. I don't know. Yeah.
What's the one thing you would say didn't turn out, or the one thing you imagined with this rock star life and the tour life that isn't really what you expected?
What I expected it to be? Yeah, I mean it's kind of weird. It's like on or off. It's like this life is not so glamorous. Everybody says that, but I mean I think there are times when it is glamorous, but not maybe in a sort of superficial way. I think in a way where you get a lot of freedom to express yourself, and I guess in a way that's glamorous, because not every person gets to do that on a daily basis, and I think that's pretty glamorous to me. Yeah. So, but of course, being on the road is not so easy, and you need to get up like 5 a.m, and you don't get enough sleep, and some shuttle that takes 3 hours, and there's no air, there's no AC, and blah blah blah, and then you need to go up on stage and deliver. And
do you have a favorite continent or country you enjoyed?
I always like to come back to Australia. It's real special. It's we love touring there. I mean, I always find places that I love all over the globe, really, but Australia is something special. It has a special place in my heart. We've been there 12 or 13 times, I think, with both in total with Soilwork and Night Flight Orchestra. So it's a place that I really love. I feel connected to it.
Is there a song you wish you've written but didn't write?
Tiny Dancer by Elton John. Yeah.
I mean, that was a very quick question.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how it's like. Normally, I take so long to come up with these things, but that is like, I don't know. It just popped in my head.
If you were on a remote island and could listen to only one album for the rest of your life, what would it be?
That was a little bit tougher.
Yeah, I had that answer a few times.
I don't know. I'm just gonna say Eurythmics, Revenge.
What were the other options?
I could take one from each genre. I could say Dissection, Storm of the Light's Bane as well, but then I mean, you're only, because I'm all over the place musically, and it's really hard to pick one that's gonna sum your personality up, and you're just there on an island, and that's all you can listen to. So yeah, no, that's tough.
Since you're interested in so many different genres,
yeah.
Do you think that influences like this metal genre you're playing? You do play like this more kind of melodic metal, but how do you think all these different inspirations or like interests in different genres affect it? How do you choose which ones to bring forward?
I don't know. I just float, all over the place, really. And I mean, I get influenced by all types of music, and even though you can't really hear it, I don't think, for example, my other band Soilwork wouldn't sound the way it sounded without me and the other members listening to everything from opera to full-on black metal. It's like, and everything in between. So I think it's just, it's music, it's melodies, and it's like you can't help getting influenced by that, and especially the pictures that it paints up in your head when you listen to a melody, and it doesn't matter what genre that is. And I think it's a great thing, it's really a beautiful thing that you can sort of take that with you, and you can shape it into what you want.
We're free to be able to pull from every stream.
I feel pretty free in my musical expression. I don't feel very frustrated. I mean, there's always going to be something that I would like to do that or that, or but
what do you do when you have writer's block?
Just leave it for a little bit, but it happens very rarely. I just need to sort of get the engine going, and then something usually comes out. It's not always great, but there's usually something good coming out of it.
Do you have like a funniest backstage memory?
When we got contacted by Bill Ward in Black Sabbath when we were gonna play in Los Angeles, and he wanted to come and see the band because he's a huge fan. So we put him on the guest list, and I remember standing on stage and I see him. I guess he had an assistant who let him in to sit right in front of us. I was like, I'm standing there singing, and it's like Bill Ward from Black Sabbath coming in. He came into our dressing room afterwards and said hi. That was a surreal moment. That was really cool. And he wrote us a personal letter as well, signed with his name, and I have that framed, so yeah.
What would your one advice be for the younger generation as like aspiring musicians who want to be in your position one day?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just finding like something. I mean, it's easy to find everything, on YouTube. There's so many people that are so good at imitating others. It's like. And I feel that goes also with the singing, like that people, there's nothing wrong with having, idols and getting inspired by people, but it's like, I feel like a lot of people try to sound like somebody. It's like, okay, Ed Sheeran, I want to sound like this guy. And then suddenly there's like a billion of people sounding just like him. And then when in fact they wouldn't sound like that if they just developed their own voice. They're trying a bit too hard to imitate something, There's nothing wrong with Ed Sheeran. I'm just saying it's like you need to find your own voice and develop it from there, see where it might take you.
And so this is my favorite question to ask after this question. What advice would you give your younger self?
Yeah, maybe take it a little bit easy with alcohol at times. I'm way better these days, but I think between 2000 and 2010 there was a lot of partying. We had a lot of fun, but sometimes it became a little bit too much. So yeah.
What's the one thing you wish interviewers ask you more often?
Oh, I mean, we could talk about corgis. I love corgis. I wish people would ask me about corgis more often. But if you don't have a corgi, maybe you don't really have a relation to it. It's a dog for those people who don't know. It's a type of dog. I own one, and I'm a bit obsessed. Has big ears, and they have short legs, but long bodies.
Oh yeah, I know.
Yeah.
And you own one.
Amazing dog. Yes, amazing dogs.
So guys, Björn from the Night Flight Orchestra.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here. Guys,
thanks for having me.
Guys, make sure to download the game, and I'll look forward to seeing you play tonight.
It's gonna be fun.